Our story begins at the end of the world, where there are no more stories to tell. After the birds have stopped singing their songs, and after the governments fell, where all that remains is a crack in the wall of a home that a family made, with room to allow in a sliver of light that was sent to help life find its way. For there across beds unmade for an age, before the ajar closet door, the light found a shirt with the buttons torn off and scattered over the floor. It floated, the shirt, a foot from the ceiling, as though it were caught on a breeze, and tugged on a near invisible thread, pulled out of a fray on the sleeve. Each button got up, held itself to attention, and waited for orders to march. In a well-rehearsed drill they fell into sequence, and stood a few inches apart. From here it was easy, it had all the pieces, they sewed themselves up in a pinch, absorbing the magic distilled in a sunbeam that changes the nature of things. With a hum and a flash, the light disappeared, having left something it had designed, a new form of life made to scavenge the earth for anything still left behind. Now it wasn't a monster that much as a fact, it couldn't have swallowed the skies. It was more an adorable teddy bear creature, with one leg and buttons for eyes. It used its first moments to look at itself, deciphering why it was there. But before it could wonder, the calling began, vibrating all through the air. Though it seemed to emit from every direction, the source of the call became clear. It was from something strong, somewhere outside the windows, without a doubt more far than near. In a haste to pursue it, the creature was clumsy and broke what it could not replace. A family portrait displayed on the mantel that now had its contents erased. With a sense of regret that was utterly human, the creature looked down to the frame. It knew in its heart it had done something wrong, and took its fair share of the blame.
This picture meant something to someone,
it thought,
though it holds little meaning to me. It could have been somebody's greatest achievement, or all that is left of a legacy.
Relying on instinct, it picked up the pieces, tidied them safely away, then studied the photograph, mainly the back, and discovered the family's name. This house was the home of the Connolly clan. Their spirits still wander the halls, unaware that they're dreaming of days they won't have, living between these four walls. But oh, what a life to belong to a family where everyone loves you to death. And when that very thing is what stands at your door, to know you are what they protect. Plenty to ponder, the creature returned to the reason that it had arrived. It knew that in order to answer its calling, it needed to reach the outside. Then came a patter as if out of nowhere, a tumbling boulder of fuzz, with hungry needles where teeth should have been, and eyes that were once full of love. The horrible beast took aim at the creature. It wiggled its rear and then pounced, narrowly missing the magical Ted with its cruel and terrible mouth. A swift one to learn, the creature alighted, making a break for the door, its tiny heart racing in ways unimagined, pursued by death on all fours. Bounding for life with no fear of danger, the beast would not be denied its cute little well-meaning teddy bear meal, with one leg and buttons for eyes. Trampling through hallways, skidding downstairs, they tore through the house like a storm, with thunderous temper and lightning reflexes, taking a physical form. Chased to exhaustion, the creature was cornered, staring its fate in the jaw. Ashamed that it failed in completing the mission, the light sent it here to perform.
I plead to you, beast, let me survive this. Eat what you will, and then go. for I have been sent to this place for a reason that as of yet I do not know. But I'm sure it's important. There's something inside, a duty I cannot eschew. It's hearing a calling and drawing me out towards what I've been made to do. I can see by your eyes you still have a soul. We were not created to fight. So what's it to be, friend? Your heart or your stomach?
The beast lunges forth with a bite. It tried to dispatch the creature with kindness, showing respect for its food, but tore out a seam it shouldn't have torn, forcing the light to break through. Predator dazzled, off in a trance, its mouth had fallen agape, allowing our creature the splittest of seconds to try and make its escape. Shuffled to safety, still spilling light, with horror the creature looked on. For what was to happen was already happening, all chance of stopping it gone. The light was relentless, engulfing the beast. No single atom was spared. A glint of a flash that would echo through time, and the beast was no longer there. Ere still aglow, the danger dissolved. Our creature crumbled, defeated, finding it hard not to pity the beast, as the light healed its wounds and retreated.
I didn't know that would happen, I swear. I can't say how sorry I am. If death and destruction are why I am here, then I want no part in this plan. You hear me, Creator? I am no puppet, and if that displeases the light, then flash me out of existence as well. I know for myself what is right.
It waited a second, but no such thing happened, and so the light must have agreed that the creature was free to decide for itself what it was going to be. But then the vibrations, stronger than ever, shook it down to its core. Whatever it was sent here to find was waiting outside the front door. The rattled reality reaches crescendo and shifts with the clack of the lock, back to an earth that is silent and still, a cold, uninhabited rock. With that the door opened, and stood there surprised was the child of the great human race, a 9-year-old girl with survivalist eyes and mud splattered over her face. What becomes of a girl in a nature-ruled world was not for the creature to guess, for those who had loved her now were all gone, and she was the only one left. She drew out a weapon, a branch from a tree that she whittled down sharp at the end, and said,
Don't give me a reason to use this. Are you a foe or a friend?
The creature was forthright, at least it was trying. It answered her,
Well, I don't know. I was sent on a sunbeam to follow my calling, wherever it wants me to go. I mean you no harm if that's what you're asking. I just can't decide what I'm for, because so far I don't think I like any answers, not least since you walked through the door.
The young girl was puzzled with so many questions buzzing around in her brain, but she started him off with the easiest one.
Tell me, what is your name? Ah,
said the creature.
I haven't got one. For that, please accept my apology.
She furrowed her brow and announced with alarm,
Why, you look like a Mogling to me.
An air of uncertainty shone through its buttons. For all that it knew, she was right.
If you say so, then that's what I am, I suppose,
the Mogling said, beaming with pride. Everyone loved and everyone hated through time have all had a name. Without one a creature, a person was nothing. Politely it asked to the same.
I am a Conley, that is what matters. This was my family's house, but after the world fell apart at the seams, Dad wanted us to head south. We spent a year walking far as we could, looking for those who survived. But it's nothing at all like you see in the movies. Nobody else was alive. Dad told me stories to put me to sleep, with the whole world around us on fire, about strange little creatures that he called the Moglings, who had but a single desire: to put back the planet the way that it was, fixing whatever was wrong. He really began to believe you existed, before he and Mum were both gone. So is that why you're here? Can you make a difference? If so, then now is the time, as the year I have spent walking back here without them was more than I can abide.
I do not know much about why I am here,
the Mogling said, thinking it through.
but if there is one thing about which I am certain, is that I was sent here to find you. I do have a power, I don't know its purpose, or if it can work in that way.
Why don't you start with the things you do know?
The Mogling heard Connolly say.
What I know for myself is you can't destroy energy, only transfer it around. Nor can it ever be made out of nothing, and magic takes massive amounts. For it's that which is living within me, magic, no more and no less. If you wish to release it, if that is your mission, then mine is to warn what comes next. I've seen it before, only once thank the stars, as my head was being consumed. The beast who was eating a well-deserved meal had all of its atoms removed.
Connolly lowered her weapon with caution. The Mogling stood at her feet, staring its destiny square in the shins, but feeling no sense of defeat. This was a chance to set life in motion, a chance that, however slim, fell through the hands of fate to the lap of the last little girl under Mogling. Holding her ally at arm's length away, the beauty of earth in her mind, she brought it in close for a delicate hug, thanked it, and said her goodbyes. With a trembling lip she tightened her grip from a hug to a definite choke. Taking the very last chance that it had, the Mogling quietly spoke.
I have a name, and I was important. That's all that I needed to be. I was not built for death or destruction at all. Remember these things about me.
I will,
she said,
for as long as I can.
And she tore with all of her might through every last seam that had made up the Mogling, unleashing tendrils of light. Connolly battled to hold her composure, to see out the fight to the end, as the light ate the room with its brilliant glow, and she dropped the remains of her friend.
Everything had its time, and lost it all too. If I'm right, then I'm right. If I'm wrong, then I'm doomed.
All but engulfed, no way of stopping it, Connolly shone like a sun, hoping her actions would undo the damage the last human empire had done. The overflowed house drained of light through the crack in the wall of the bedroom upstairs, leaving no sign that anything, human or otherwise, had ever really been there. Our story concludes at the birth of the world, where birds sing in rapturous song, and mankind is given a second attempt at trying to live here as one. You see, heroes don't look any one kind of way, they appear just the same as the rest, and the truest do not seek out thanks for their work, however enormous the debt. A brand new existence, a gift from a child who placed life above staying alive, and a cute little well-meaning teddy named Mogling, with one leg and buttons for eyes.